I have not.
There you go.
I have now. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Well, thanks everybody, and welcome members, guests, and to our distinguished panel of speakers today, Jennifer Neitzel and Sue O. Welcome to our meeting. The Notary Masters Toastmasters Club provides a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. So and with that, I will now turn the meeting over to our Toastmaster for today, Daniel Brewer. Daniel, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President, and honored fellow Toastmasters and honored guests. Today is our special open house for Notary Masters Toastmasters group. I want to point a few things out here. First of all, you're going to see it's going to be a real Toastmasters meeting, kind of a sample of what one might look like, but we are taking some liberties with our agenda so that we can account for our guests. You're going to see a few things happen. We always applaud. We can either clap or we can do this thing, which is sign language applause. It's just to give people confidence and to let us know that we do appreciate. A lot of people here are hesitant in speaking, and so we want to appreciate that they're here. It also signals a transition between sections. So don't be shocked if you're saying, what's all this applauding? That's what it's about. We do have a few roles we're going to fill today. I did not know if Andrea is on our call yet or not. Andrea.
Yes, I'm here.
Andrea is our grammarian today, and Andrea is going to offer the, I'm sorry, Andrea, I need to offer up our theme for the meeting. Our theme for the meeting is confidence. Not too many people, confidence in everything you do. Not too many people here, I think, started out as a notary. We didn't go on career day in middle school and say, you know what, when I grow up, I want to be a notary public. I think what happened is we all had other ambitions and we're probably very successful at them. At some point, no matter what you did, you were always nervous to begin with. And at some point along the way, you started to notice that you were getting good at it. What happened here is you got confidence. And I think many of us here in this industry are really hoping to get to the point where we can get to that point of confidence in our notary work. So we're going to keep that in mind as we go today. We will have a timer today. I'm going to actually introduce our timekeeper later in the meeting. But Andrea Pate is our grammarian today, and we have a word of the day, and Andrea is going to share the word of the day with us.
The word of today is determination.
Okay. So we can say that so try to use the word of the day today. Andrea will give us a report on how people use the word of the day. I do have one announcement to make, and that is that Ronnie Mickle is out today with some a dental emergency, so he will not be speaking today, unfortunately. But we do have two industry icons, if you will, who joined us. It's interesting. I sent the email out, and they both responded within like an hour. All three of them responded within an hour saying, of course we'll do this. And so they are here. Jen Neitzel is here from Texas, part of the Signing Agent Marketing, or SAM. And I put her first as a coincidence, but she's actually speaking at the NNA conference here in about 20 minutes. So I promised I would introduce her right away and let her speak. So here, I would love to give her a flowery introduction, but I don't think she really needs one for most of us. So what I'm going to do right at this point is introduce Jennifer Neitzel.
Thank you. Thank you. Wow. I am Jennifer Neitzel. I am the founder of Signing Agent Marketing, SAM for short, and co-founder of the Advanced Notary Mastermind, Notary Business Builders. And I see several familiar faces on this call. I'm specifically looking at Pam right now. Pam, you were on my Building Authentic Relationships call yesterday. What I'm about to talk about is going to sound really familiar to you. So I just want to start by saying thank you to the Notary Masters Toastmasters group for inviting me to speak today. And I want to give a special shout out and honor each and every one of you on this call for committing to sharpening your communication and leadership skills. I love that there is a Notary Toastmasters group out in the world. So being a solopreneur, as we all are, and running a successful business, it's a dream we all share. But let's be really honest. The hardest part for me, and I know for most of you as well, is having the self-confidence it requires to build and sustain your business. And what do I mean by that? Well, I'm sure you've learned by now that if you keep doing things the same way you've always done them, you're not going to get any different results, right? So I want to talk to you today about some practical things that you can do to help you build your self-confidence. The first thing is to stop comparing yourself to others. This is especially important in your business. How do you build confidence when you notice that you are drawing comparisons? Well, the first thing to do is to remind yourself that doing that isn't helpful, right? Just literally tell yourself, this is not good for me. Everyone is running their own race, and life is not a competition. So if you're feeling envious of someone else's life, which is really easy to do if you spend any time on social media, it's also helpful to remind yourself of your own strengths and successes. So start telling yourself to flip that feeling of envy to a feeling of inspiration, so you don't feel like you're competing with your peers. Guys, keep a gratitude journal to remember the areas in your life where you are blessed, because we are all blessed in several ways. This can help you focus on your own life versus comparing yourself to someone else and focusing on their lives. So it's also important to not be afraid to admit your mistakes. Have you ever met somebody who leads with ego and arrogance instead of self-confidence? Because there's a big difference there. They're never wrong, right? Never make any mistakes. So it's really easy to identify those people that's kind of their cover. That ego and arrogance is their cover for lack of confidence, and they appear difficult. But a person with a healthy self-esteem is perceived as resilient and creative and a good listener and respectful of others. So the second step in helping build your own self-confidence is to surround yourself with positive people. I want you guys to all think about your friend group right now. Do your friends lift you up, or do they bring you down? Are they constantly judging you, or do they accept you for who you are? The people you spend time with socially can influence your thoughts and attitude about yourself, perhaps more than I think we realize. So pay attention to how other people make you feel. If you feel bad about yourself after hanging out with a particular person, it might be time to say goodbye to that person, especially if they're critical of your business. This is something I've personally had to do. And I know there's a few folks on this phone call that know this story of mine, but this is something I've personally had to do recently. And while it was really difficult to end a friendship, I'm a much happier person now that my critical friend is no longer in my life. So instead, think about surrounding yourself with people who love you and want the best for you, who support you. Seek out other people who are positive and can help you build your confidence. In fact, if you think about it, self-confidence and a positive attitude, they kind of go hand in hand, right? So the third practical tip for helping you build your self-confidence is to be kind to yourself. Self-comparison involves self-compassion, involves treating yourself with kindness when you make a mistake or you fail or you experience a setback. It allows you to become more emotionally flexible, and it helps you better navigate challenging emotions, enhancing your connection to yourself and to others. Some of the most amazing people I know are folks who have failed several times in business. Difficulties allow for learning and growth. So don't be so hard on yourself if an idea that you implement in your business doesn't work. No one expects you to be perfect, And you shouldn't put that pressure on yourself either. The point is, you took a chance, and there is so much personal growth and learning in that. So the next step in building confidence is to flip your usual scripts on their head. And I am not talking about your loan signing scripts here. I'm talking about how you speak to yourself. So again, think about your friend group, your best friend or your spouse, and ask yourself this question. If you spoke to your best friend or your spouse the way you speak to yourself, would they tolerate that? Would you even have the nerve to speak to your best friend or your spouse the way you speak to yourself? So instead of telling yourself things like, I can't handle this, or this is impossible, flip that self-talk, flip that script, and try instead to remind yourself that I can do this, or all I have to do is try. And instead of telling yourself, I can't do anything right, when you make a mistake, remind yourself that you can do better next time, or remind yourself that at least you learned a lesson. And instead of saying you hate public speaking, use a milder word like you don't like it. And just remind yourself that everybody has strengths and weaknesses. So the last point that I want to make to help you work on building your self-confidence is to face your fears head on. Stop putting things off until you feel more confident, like marketing your business or learning a new skill to add a revenue stream to your business. One of the best ways that I have found to build my own self-confidence is just to face my fears head on. Practice facing your fears that stem from a lack of self-confidence. If you're afraid you'll embarrass yourself or think you're going to mess up, try it anyway. You might learn that being a little anxious or making a few mistakes is not as bad as you thought it was. And each time you do that, and each time you take that little step forward, you gain more confidence in yourself. Life, you guys, it's about the journey, and accepting and loving yourself for who you are, mistakes and all, is where it's all at. So I wish I could stay for the rest of this meeting, especially to hear Sue, and I'm super bummed I can't hear Ronnie. I'll be back to hear him when he reschedules, but I am expected at the NNA Success Summit in about 15 minutes. So if you would like to stay in touch, for anyone on the call, you guys are always welcome to email me, whether you're a SAM member or not, or an NBB member or not, at sam@signingagentmarketing.com. Thank you so very much for letting me speak today. And I really hope that you guys put some of these really small steps and practice in your life and start growing your self-confidence from the inside out. Thank you guys very much. Have a fabulous rest of your day. I can't wait to get the replay back to hear Sue. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Jen. We'll give her a nice big round of applause because we know she won't be here for the big one at the end. So thank you so much, Jen.
Thank
And we
you.
do
Have a
appreciate
great
you.
day.
We'll keep you guys in touch. Thank you, Jen, so much.
Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you, everybody. And I want to change my view here real quick. And so our next, that didn't work. There we go. So our next feature of the meeting is our tip of the morning. And this is where a member shares one of their special notary tips. And our leader for tip of the morning today is Melissa Dominguez. So Melissa, could you please unmute and share with us your tip of the morning?
Good morning, everybody. Oh gosh, I'm so nervous. Okay, so our theme is confidence and determination. So I found a little saying that I thought might be appropriate. It says, if it doesn't bring you peace, profits, or purpose, then don't give it your time, energy, or attention. And that kind of goes along with, we've been studying with Jen, reframing how we think about things. Like fear is a feeling of excitement. Well, Excitement can also be when we're happy, we feel that same way. So we could turn it around and say, oh, I'm so excited for this opportunity to challenge myself and meet this new person that I'm going to go see today at the signing table. Another thing is a lot of us, well, me, I always am saying I'm sorry and I'm apologizing. So there's a few words, a few things I want to say how we can reframe how we speak to ourselves and others. So instead of saying sorry to bother you, we might say, do you have a minute? Or sorry, I'm late. Oh, thank you so much for waiting. Or sorry, I did not realize. Oh, thanks for pointing that out to me. Sorry, I did not know or understand. You could tell them, can you help me understand? Or thank you for helping me understand. So it's just the way we reframe how we talk to ourselves and others. And that's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you, Melissa. And thanks for those great tips. And I do many of those things. So those tips will come in handy
Can you
for
help
me.
me understand?
Question? Oh, thank you very much. Okay. Our next feature is going to be Dear Notary Masters. This is where one of our members or somebody poses a problem, and we're going to see if maybe somebody in our group can help. Our leader for that today is from the state of Arizona, Mr. Mike Howard. So Mike, can you please give us your notary master, your Dear Notary Masters?
Sure, I'd be happy to. Dear Notary Masters, the past 2 years has shown us that we must be willing to pivot. How would you recommend us to be confident and determined as we pivot to face the challenges in the future with possible pandemic, technology? That's my question.
Okay, thanks for the question. Does anybody have a suggestion? Melissa, I see a hand.
I just think the whole technology and the Zoom and being able to be in contact with people that you wouldn't probably get to otherwise because you'd have to pay to go wherever and be wherever has given me the confidence to be able to attend more of all these mentoring events and trainings that I have and meet all these wonderful people that I would have never got to otherwise.
And we've got a pretty good request for people to remember to stay muted if you're not speaking, and I will do the same because I know I've got noise in my area as well. Are there any other people that can help Mike with his question? Anna.
Hi, I'm Anna. I just wanted to say regarding his question, what I have seen and learned, especially in my job, is the word change is always a promise for everything, meaning we always have to try our best to understand that everything is always changing one way or another, and just take that word and understand it. And one day at a time, we evolve and learn and understand that since everything does change, we need to accept it and take it slow and not feel overwhelmed. That's the way that I deal with that, because I definitely have that word in my life and in my job on a constant basis. So hope that helps. Thank you.
Sue?
Why, thank you. So I would recommend change or pivot equals opportunity. It means an opportunity for you to try something new, flexibility to grow in a different direction. The ability may be unsure, the destination may not be clear, but the opportunity to try something new, at least it's an opportunity to grow and change. So being there on a car, I always like to compare. A car has different gears. It's got a brake and it's got a steering wheel. You can even go backwards. If you're not sure about what you're doing, you have the ability to change direction. So be flexible enough to pursue the new learn and grow. And even if it doesn't succeed for you, you've had an opportunity to learn something that you know that didn't work, but I can try something else. So pivoting and being flexible is always an opportunity for growth and change. That's my tidbit.
I have one right now that's kind of struggling in the same area, and that is I keep trying to see what I can add to my portfolio. I added Ron, I added being dual commissioned, I added a few things, and I'm still finding myself not as confident and determined to learn the basics. I don't want to become Starbucks. Remember, Starbucks has the best coffee. It has all about the coffee. Then they started making movies. Then they started putting together CDs, and then they started serving food. And suddenly the other coffee places were taking them over because they forgot about the coffee. And what I'm trying to remember is to keep my focus on how to do the job. And because I don't want to be not about the notarizations in the end. I still want to be able to make sure that I'm getting through the signings error-free and not forget that, okay, maybe I have to drive so far and all that and worry, just let me get this job done. The more I come up with error-free signings, the more work I'm going to get, and keep it about that. Just because it's a good, there's a quote from Barack Obama, which is, just because you can do something doesn't always necessarily mean it's a good idea to do it. So I want to kind of keep my focus. So that's how I'm doing it. Any other hands or suggestions? Mike, did we answer your question?
Y'all did a great job. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that great question. And that's Dear Notary Master. That's a feature in every one of our meetings. So somebody gets to post a question to all of us. Maybe they didn't get in on TNT one week, so this might be how we get that answered. So at this point, we've seen right now on my screen, front and center has been Sue Hope since we logged onto the meeting. And she comes to us from Southern California. I actually met Sue because I sent an email to, excuse me, please mute. Please mute. I wish I could mute people. There we go. There we go. Okay. I can mute people. I just can't unmute them. All right. There we go. All right. I met Sue. Literally, I sent an email to Notary Assist asking her some questions. And each time I call her with a question about Notary Assist, we end up talking for 30 minutes. And she gives me tips on just how to help my business out. And she doesn't have to do that. She can just say, click here and go here, and here's the answer. But she takes the time and she cares. And because of that, when we had decided to have this open house, she was one I wanted to have here. And when I sent her an email saying, join us, she was like, of course I'll join you. Well, you kidding? Of course I'll join you. So here from the Los Angeles area, I never want to say where they're from because I don't know. In LA, your neighborhood and your little town that's outside of the town is important. So Southern California, here's Sue Hope from Notary Assist.
Hi guys, thank you so much. This is so fun. I have never attended this before, and this is amazing. I love when notaries get together. I'm a little bit of a notary nerd, so I love this, and I am truly grateful to be with you this morning and talking about confidence and determination. I love the word of the day. Thank you so much for posing that, and I will try to incorporate determination into what I'm going to chat with you about today. I loved Jen and her whole spin on things to really care for yourself. Self-care is your engine. Your engine is what makes you move forward. So her talking about being kind and gracious to yourself is so important. And we've had a really rough year the last couple of years. It's really easy to get caught up in the muck and in the negativity. So being positive, it's a little bit more challenging, but when you do that, oh my goodness, it's so amazing. And you can grow so much and it's much happier. So I truly echo what Miss Jen was sharing with us today about being self-care and determined to be good to yourself and putting yourself first. So I appreciate that. For me, confidence is multifaceted. And how do you gain confidence? There's all sorts of different factors that you can pull from something as simple as having an organized, dedicated space so that you can think, so that you can focus, so that you can do your work clearly without clutter, without distraction. That can build your confidence. You can build confidence by knowing your state's laws. I go back to that all the time. To be the best notary that you can be is huge. And taking the time to build your skill set so that you can be confident. But what's also awesome, that we have an opportunity as a notary, we help the public. We're public servants. How amazing is that? We're able, and Laura Buer has this, she says this all the time, we are the hinges that swing huge doors. No matter what we're notarizing, we are a small but crucial part of that transaction. That is hugely we're hugely responsible for that, but at the same time, we allow something wonderful to happen. You know, we allow change for others, and that's what I love doing. I love to meet the new people. How do I gain confidence? I start with what makes me tick, what works well for me. I know when I'm not focused, when I'm not trained, when I'm not on top of my game, I'm not confident. So I really want to focus on those things so that I can make those hinges swing smoothly without any hiccups, without any areas that need to be oiled per se. So I focus on keeping track of myself and keeping grounded. And that goes along with what Jen was saying, focusing on what I need to run properly, my engine, my brain. How do I focus and how do I work well? So I work on that. The other thing that works really well for me is being able to get enough sleep, being able to get enough time off, as well as being able to say, yes, I want to do that for you. How do I get that? I stay organized. And it's really important for me to really stay on top of my organization, because when I'm not organized, that makes me sluggish. It makes me worry. It makes me anxious. For me, when I first got started, I really was overwhelmed by mountains of paperwork. It was really challenging for me. And to know where my appointments were, when they were, I needed some sort of tool that would help me. And so whatever tool you choose, make sure it's a benefit for you. When I implemented knowing each appointment, knowing that I was putting a little bit of time and effort into tracking my income, tracking my mileage, tracking my expenses, all of a sudden I put a little bit of time in every day or even once a week. And I found that I had more time. And that gave me more sleep. That gave me less anxiety. It's a cycle. So when it feeds on itself, if you're not doing these things that make you feel better, it sometimes swings the other way, which really puts self-doubt, fear, anxiety. So that pendulum can swing both ways. Once I was able to track and see the health of my business, all of a sudden I went from doubting myself, am I doing the right thing, to, oh my gosh, I'm actually making money. I'm actually doing something. Oh my goodness. And that's such a wonderful feeling, to feel like, oh my gosh, all my hard work is paying off, and I can see it. I can see it in the records that I'm keeping. When I keep my records, I also see that I know I can make good decisions business-wise, economically wise. I can pivot if I need to pivot or change. I can feel strong and confident and determined to move in a different direction because I have the knowledge behind it. So that helps me so much navigate through different times. I can actually take a step back, see my reports, see where things are, and I can sway in a direction that may have been a little cloudy, but I'm going to give it a try. Also, reviews. Peer reviews are huge. They help you feel confident. It's like a compliment, but it's the business way of getting a compliment. So asking people to review your work with professional reviews helps you feel more confident and competent in your work. When you hear back from your peers or coworkers that are in this industry, all of a sudden you can start feeling like, oh my goodness, I'm actually doing better than I realized. So don't be afraid to reach out to your community, to the people you work with, to the people that help you or that you supply help for, and ask them for feedback. You want to know if you're doing a good job, because then you can also analyze that information and pivot and make changes that you might need to make so that you can constantly keep growing. The other thing that is hugely important to build confidence is referrals. We want to be able to do such a great job in our service industry that people, when they are done with us, they feel comfortable sending other people to us. For me, I call that a professional hug. Nothing is more wonderful than finding out that somebody reached out to me because somebody else referred them. That means I'm doing something right. I'm helping the community. I'm helping customers, so much so that they feel confident referring me to them. It's a professional hug. I love referrals. I work for referrals because I want people to feel comfortable when I'm taking care of them. So work towards that referral, big professional hug. The other thing that I like to do is clear my inbox. When my day is done, I like to try and get it finished so that my desk is clear, but I'm ready for work the next day. So when I clear my inbox, I feel so happy because it makes me feel relaxed. I can turn it off. I can turn my lights off. At the end of the day, I know stuff's going to come in overnight, but I'm looking forward to that downtime. I can turn that light switch off, walk out of my office, and I can embrace my family time, my other time outside of work. Like back to like what Jen was saying, you have to keep that balance so that your engine, your soul, your internal feelings are balanced with your work. You don't want to say yes all the time. You have to know your limits. You have to put a priority on your family time or your downtime, because that will help you be refreshed so that you can do the work that you really want to do. You want to work for those referrals, but if you're exhausted and you're tired and you've pushed yourself too hard and you've done way too many signings, you have to listen to your body so that you can take that downtime. You can have that breath. You can move forward. So those are some of the things that really help me feel confident and grow in my confidence. And I hope that that is expressed to you so that those are some areas that maybe if you haven't started working on those, you can feel comfortable starting to ask your peers, ask your colleagues for some professional reviews so that you get an idea of what you are doing. You don't know until you get out there. So I encourage you, there's so much learning that you can do, but don't get stuck only learning. Why don't you get out there and find out how you're doing? And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. We're all human, and that's an opportunity to grow and learn. So hopefully I've shared some tips and pointers about how to grow confidence from me to you. And I so much appreciate you having me here today.
Thank you so much, Sue, for that great take. I so loved listening to that. And it was so appropriate for our topic today, as well as just listening to you speak confidence. I know you've been doing this a while, so we can always learn from your wisdom, and I really appreciate the speech. Our next, excuse me for a minute. Thank you for that. My son decided to make his presence known. I do appreciate that speech, Sue, and thank you. Right now, we're going to turn it over to table topics. Before we do table topics, I want to introduce one more role, and that is the role of timer. Typically, our timer is going to be speaking, timing all the speeches and the table topics and the evaluations. Today on our special open house, India is only timing the table topics. So India, are you there to tell us how long we will have to do table topics? India is muted right now, and oh yes, there she is. Okay, I see you in there twice. Thank you.
Yes, I'm running between rooms. Hi, everybody. My name is India Scruggs, and I am the timekeeper for today. So the purpose of the timekeeper is to keep time. I love saying that every week. And as the time goes by, I will hold up different color flags to let you know that that the time is running out. So when we start, you'll see a green flag, then a yellow flag, and a red flag. Table topics are 5 to 7 minutes, and
India,
yes,
1 to 2 minutes.
1 to 2 minutes. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
So
Oh, 1 to
yeah, 1 to 2. It'll be green at 1, yellow at 1.5, and red at 2.
oh, but it's multiple people.
Right.
Okay. All right. So 1 to 2 minutes, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Timer, and we'll look for those cues. Our table topic master today is John. We're going to have about 10 minutes, John. So you'll probably have time for 3 or 4 of these. I'm going to turn it over to my friend from the state of Kentucky. And also, I love his Ukrainian support background. So thank you for that, John. But he's also probably a fairly proud Bengals fan this week because they didn't win the Super Bowl, but they played well. I was thinking about him the whole weekend, so during the Super Bowl. So here is John Holder.
Thank you, Daniel, and thank you, Sue, and thank you, Jen. That's great advice. Can't ignore what you guys have told us here today, and it's very much appreciative that you've taken your time out of your busy schedules and blessed us with your presence. We really do appreciate y'all being here. My job is to give the table topic of the day, and our word of the day is determination. So I'm going to tie it in there in the back end here. It's a long question, but bear with me. What do you know now that you wish you would have known at the beginning of your notary journey that would have assisted you with your confidence and determination to move forward? So what do you know now that you wish you would have known at the beginning of your notary journey that would have assisted you with your confidence and determination to move forward? Hat tip to Mike Howard of Arizona for helping me with my table topic. He gave me a good boost, a good tip there. So, and you said I didn't have to answer my own question, Daniel. So anybody who wants to chime in, feel free to unmute and give an answer, I think.
I think Sue wants to respond.
Pardon me?
I think Sue wants to respond.
Go ahead. Have at it, Sue. Open your...
Okay, I just thought I'd raise my hand. I didn't want to just jump in, that'd be. So what I wish I knew at the beginning before I got into this is it took me a long time to realize I cannot make everybody happy. And so to focus on being the best notary I can be, there's situations sometimes that I've learned over the course of my commission that some people you just can't make happy. So you do the best you can, you be respectful, and you'll walk away from that signing table knowing that they probably were not necessarily unhappy with you, but the situation. And that takes a little bit of being a duck, let the water roll off your back, right? But sometimes when you're just getting into it, you want to make everybody happy and you just want to do a great job, but you're never going to make everybody happy. So just be okay with how you dealt with that situation. Be the best person you can be and try and just realize you can't make everybody happy.
Excellent. Thank you, Sue. Mary, you've got your hand raised, and then Mike, I guess. Go ahead.
What I wish I would have known when I started. I wish I would have known that not only is it okay to give yourself a chance to learn, it's right to give yourself a chance to learn. This is the only industry I've been in where I felt like, and I don't know where I got this expectation, but I felt like you get your commission and you go. And I don't know if anybody else felt like that. My stepdaughter is an escrow officer, and I think a lot of her friends did that and became notaries, and it just wasn't going to happen for me. So I am still asking questions. I've done probably 150 signings, watching the Notary Stars videos. And I'm glad that I give myself the chance to learn. And I finally accepted that you don't have to rush yourself to stop asking questions. If you have questions, just keep asking them. Get the support you need in any area of life, and that's how we grow.
Excellent. Thank you, Mary. Mike, you want to go next?
I think for me, I wish I would have realized that I am the professional and I don't have to rush through things, that I can take that gentle control and be, and I like to say, the cruise director. If they're documents, then I'm going to help guide them through it. And it's okay if it takes a few minutes longer because we want to make sure it's done right the first time. So that's what I wish I would have known.
Excellent. Thank you, guys. Does anybody else have anything they want to add? Appreciate your all's input this morning, or well, today it's afternoon here. I think one thing, I'm an attorney, so first thing we do is kill all the lawyers, but I wish I would have just gone back and refreshed my knowledge of the law. It's what we do. We're performing a legal service, basically. And the more grounded you are with your knowledge of your state's laws, you know what's right, you know what's wrong, you know when not to practice, unauthorized practice of law, but that'll give you confidence. And it's maybe it's some not easy to understand, but I think if you'll just look at your statutes and break your notary statutes down, it's really not that hard. Just take an evening and get you a cup of coffee or whatever you need to get you through it. And once you get that confidence that you know what's right and you know that you're in, the right aspect of the legal part of it, that'll give you confidence and determination to move forward. So Indy, I think we're going to wrap that up. I'll return it back to Daniel. If he is there, he is. Good timing. Thank you, guys. Appreciate y'all's input. It's been a lot of fun. Thank y'all for being here. We've got a great crowd. This is a lot of fun. I'm a notary geek too, Sue Hope. I'm a notary geek too, aren't we all?
I'm sorry, John, I had to leave. Are we back to me?
Yeah, you're fine. I just want to turn it back to you. We had a good discussion. It
Great.
timed out perfectly, Daniel. You're fine.
I appreciate it. Thank you all. And it is now time to do our general evaluation. And to do that will be our club president from the great state of Florida. And Dennis, how are you?
Doing well, getting informed, and I agree with probably most of you. This is a really fun and exciting meeting. It's a lot of good quality input from our speakers, and thank you, Sue. You're still here, and obviously to Jennifer, she's wonderful. And by the way, you can catch her today. I don't know if we have time, but afterwards, they might be on. Certainly, if you're going to, the NNA meeting afterwards, if you've already joined that, they do have available the videos for all of the sessions. So, you can catch Sue and on her speech a little bit later. So I just wanted to say each speaker did a wonderful job of presenting an outlined form, if you will, of their particular speech. It's great to have speeches when you can follow the agenda that they have, that they're clear, that they're concise, and that they have the ability to impart knowledge on everyone, it's going to be our turn now to apply that knowledge. And that is determination, or a determination that we have to make ourselves as individuals. But the knowledge certainly has been given to us. And there's fun and excitement in all of these particular meetings, simply because one person, no matter whether you're a speaker or whether you are answering a question, you have knowledge to impart, and it usually helps somebody. I usually get a good bit of information from somebody, even in their particular question and or answer to a question. So all of you, that's great. I mean, it's just wonderful to have those particular speakers impart that particular knowledge. It's unfortunate that we don't have more time for you, Sue, or for Jennifer. She was constrained on time, because I'm sure there's just so much there that you'd like to share. So hopefully in the future, we will have you back, maybe for a longer session, but it's really great to have speakers of such caliber and distinguished knowledge, if you will, in their particular field. So we really do appreciate that. And just as, let me just check my notes here. Let's see. So one of the other things is, we got to go to the timer. Let me see who the timer is. I forgot already.
That's
Shameful
India.
of me.
India.
Andrea, weren't you the, oh no, you're the
India.
grammarian, and India, you are the timer.
I am the timer. Let me change rooms because my dog is barking and I can't make him stop. So
Okay,
hold 1 second.
no problem. I'm going to just shout out to everybody real quick. In addition to being notary, in the past, I have been a QuickBooks Advanced Pro advisor. And I'm shamelessly going to plug Sue's program, because it is so simple. It is virtually simple. It is so simple to do, but it is also so simple not to do. You have to be determined as a bookkeeper to do it. And Sue has given you the simplicity of this program to keep your records straight, so that you know and confidently know how well you are doing. There is so much information in that for you as a notary. Sue, I can't thank you enough. I use that explicitly for my notaries, and I will absolutely be an ambassador for that. It's just a great, great program.
Oh my gosh, thank you so very much. Those are beautiful, kind words, and we worked really hard to make it easy, because technology can be a little overwhelming. So I'm glad to hear that it's easy to use and practical. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, well, I am back, and I must echo Dennis's words about how easy Notary Assist is to use. I actually won Notary Assist at a notary symposium back in 2018, and I've been ever since. So, but to the timekeeping. So although there were certain portions of the meeting today that were not timed officially, I did keep time. So for Jennifer Neitzel, she was 8 minutes and 45 seconds. Melissa was 1 minute and 28 seconds. Mike was 5 minutes and 15 seconds. Sue was 10 minutes and 10 seconds. And for table topics, Sue spoke for 1 minute and 2 seconds, Mary for 1 minute and 3 seconds, Mike 42 seconds, and John 38 seconds. And then the general evaluation was 2 minutes and 29 seconds. Thank you.
Okay, are we back to me? Okay, so what I'm going to do at this point is, first of all, I want to thank India for being on time. Did we do the Grammarian report, Dennis? I'm sorry, I had to step away.
I'm sorry, I did not do that. I forgot all about that. My apologies. So we do
Andrea?
have a grammarian report, and let me just go ahead and introduce, if I could, Andrea, who is our reporter for the grammarian portion. Andrea, go ahead.
Good morning or afternoon. The word today was determination. It was used once by Melissa. It was used once by Daniel. It was used 4 times by Sue. And it was used 3 times by Dennis. And Mike used it once.
And I'll point out that at a typical meeting, the evaluation, each speaker gets an evaluator, so we can get a chance to evaluate every speech. And the grammarian roles and the timing roles are expanded a little bit, but we kept it tight today for our special open house. I wanted to take by the way, thank you very much, Dennis, for running the general evaluation, and for John for his great job with the table topics. I did not properly thank the 2 of you for stepping up and doing that really well. So this is really the gist of our meeting. I'm going to have one more little piece here, and that's to talk a little bit about Toastmasters. And what I want to do is do my little 3-minute commercial here. I'm going to be popping in here, if I can get to my document, I'm going to pop in a couple of quick documents in case you are interested in joining our club. We meet twice a week, or twice a month. We will meet on the 17th, and then this is actually a 5 Thursday month. So we will have a 3-week break after our next meeting. This isn't working for me. One thing I'm learning about these meetings is I'm going to need to start bringing a mouse with me. So I'm going to put in 2. Oh, I'm sorry, that went to just John. So let me do this again for everybody. I'm going to just put in 2 documents here. One is just a little bit about the club and about Toastmasters. And the other one is our membership application. And we are hoping to get a handful of people want to join us here. And hopefully those 2 went through. Very good. All right. And so the idea here is we are about 5 members short of getting our 20 we need to charter. Toastmasters works on a 6-month pay schedule. And so we have dues in April, and we have, well, actually March for April, and in September for October. So right now, chartering in April makes a lot of sense. So if you're interested in joining us and being a full-fledged member, what I need the most right now is I need that application. If you can't pay now, or you want to wait until we get chartered until you pay me, that's fine. If you want to pay now, that's fine too. But once I get 20 applications in hand, I'm going to start the process, and I'm going to actually start the process this week. So Dennis and Tabitha, you guys are our president and secretary. You guys are going to be probably hearing from me pretty soon. I need to make some determinations here, but I'll also be sending them to all of our officers. We've been trying to get this started since October of last year. And so hopefully we're going to be back to having a full-fledged club that is Toastmasters recognized. And then we can that gives us access to the Toastmasters website, and we can start really rocking through the projects and doing really the stuff we need to do. And the best part is every 2 weeks we get together and talk notary geeky stuff, which is always pretty fun. So I've got these applications here. I will put my phone number and email address in here as well. And that way people can call me, and you can call me to talk about anything, or you can call me, particularly if you have a customer up in Portland that you need to refer somebody to. And then that would even be better. But my email address is daniel@brewernotary.com. And I've got a whole bunch of different emails there. But I tell you what, I've been a Toastmaster. I was laid off from Yahoo in 2013. Part of Yahoo kind of ran out of gas at the end there. and I was out of work, and I wish I'd have known about this gig then, but I was a technical trainer and I wanted to keep my skills sharp. So I joined Toastmasters, and I've been a Toastmaster ever since. Pam, you have a question? Can I answer your question? You were muted. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah. I was just checking it. It was the same application I pulled off the internet or the Toastmasters thing. So do you need all 3 pages back? Yes.
No, yeah, 1 and 2, basically. I don't need the payment page. Some of you put your credit cards on there. I just soon not do that because I have to send them all in at once anyway, but we'll be in touch there. But yeah, the first 2 pages for sure.
Okay.
Name, address. Basically, that what I need the most, of course, is the signature. We're notaries. We know it's in the end, it's all about the signature. So that's what we need. So
Okay.
shouldn't shock you to know that's the page I need the most. But once we get started, and then for you and for everybody here, anybody that wants to join, great. If you're not going to join, I'm going to go ahead and send you an invitation to become what I'm going to call friends and family. When we started this whole thing in October, I kind of sent out a let me know if you're interested list. And I had over 200 people sign up. And I've been kind of going off of that list. And I know a lot of people came to our first meeting and thought it wasn't for them. I'm still sending them emails. And I think what I want to do is I want to get to a point where I can put that email list away and not use it anymore and start using a list of people I know want to hear from us. But the thing is, the way the Notary Masters website works, you have to opt in. So once you get that email from me, if you want to continue to get our stuff, and if you're a member, I really encourage you to accept, because that's how we take on roles and sign up for meetings and so forth. And you have access to all of our stuff internally. But you're going to get that invitation. Just go ahead and accept if you want to continue to hear from us, or you can decline and I'll go away. I don't really care. But I would love to keep people apprised. I'm not going to, if you say yes, I'm not going to send you a daily email that says, hey, everybody, don't forget, we have Notary, but I will send reminders about each meeting. Our meetings are going to be every other week. Next week, Dennis, we're really to a point now where we've got the first few meetings, I did all the kind of the heavy lifting roles. Now we've got Dennis, and Mary's been a Toastmaster. Dennis is going to be a Toastmaster. The members are now taking on some of the more heavy roles. Pam, do you still have a question, or is your hand still up?
Where does this get emailed to?
You can just send it to me at daniel@brewernotary.com. I will go ahead and put this, I'll put that in my.
Thank you.
Excuse me, did you say they were going to have meetings every other week?
I'm sorry, it's twice a month. So,
Oh,
so it's not every other week, it's twice a month. It's
okay.
the first and third Thursdays. In March, for example, we have 5 Thursdays. So we'll meet the first and third. We won't meet the 5th Thursday. So after the 17th, we won't meet till like the 7th of April. I am looking forward to another open house. I've already got John. I actually want to speak at the next one. And John, I know, has said he will speak at the next one. And maybe we need to bring Ronnie back since he wasn't here today. So that might be just our next open house. We'll do it in May, probably, or June. Also, I'm looking to have a charter ceremony. And even if you're not a member, you're going to be invited to our charter ceremony. And so you can at least come celebrate with us once we get chartered. So Pam, your hand is still up. Do you still have another question, or are you good? She's good. She's got her hand up. Good. So yeah, in this specific time, that's a good point. At this point, I'm doing everything with this club as if you guys are all in my living room here in Portland or in Beaverton. I will tell a really quick 30-second notary story here. Somebody went into the local postal works trying to get an I-9 done and getting some immigration paperwork done. And Postal Works doesn't do either of those. We happen to have 2 really small companies here in Beaverton that you may have heard of. One's a shoe company, a small little shoe company called, is it Nike? Nike, yeah. We have Nike and we have Intel here, and they together employ about 50,000 people, and about 20,000 require immigration paperwork. So I got on their good list. So hopefully pretty soon that business is going to be coming to me. And Postal Works is now saying, look, I don't do this, but Dan's down the street and he'll do it for you. So it's all what Sue and Bill and everybody talks about, building those relationships. And don't worry that Postal Works does notarizations too. They don't do them all. And when somebody comes to me and they say, hey, I need something done, but I don't know when to meet you at your house, I'm like, hey, go to Postal Works, they'll take care of you. So we've got a nice relationship here and it's working out good for us. So I know, Boo, you're ready to go. We're almost done. So that said, somebody's from Aloha, Oregon. Sue, oh wow, Sue, Aloha, Oregon. And you know you're from Aloha, Oregon when you pronounce it correctly, because everybody says aloha and it's actually there. So yeah, correct. I-9s, you can't do it in California. I know, I just now saw the thing on I-9. Thankfully in Oregon, we can do them and I know how to do them for those two companies. And I'm figuring I don't need anybody else. Those two companies is gonna keep me busy. Anyways, I'm gonna take this moment here. Any other comments for the cause? We're gonna leave the meeting open. If there's no other comments, Dennis, with your permission, I'm going to go ahead and adjourn the meeting. And I'm going to stop the recording.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Thank you, Dennis, Mr. President.